Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your weekly reading. And we're doing the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2022. Crazy to think that we're at the end of May already, isn't it? All right, so for those of you who are returning, you know the structure, you know how this reading works, you know how to navigate it. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy. We cover a lot in this particular reading, and I do try and keep it quite short and to the point, but there is a lot of information or a lot of content to work through. We start off doing a theme for the week ahead, and I already have those cards put onto the table here. These are our word of the year cards. We do one of each, and combined they give us the theme for the week. And then I have an oracle deck that just I don't know what's the word, contributes towards the theme for the week ahead. We then go into doing an animal energy for the week ahead. So we look to see an animal energy that we can work with or that we can utilize for any challenges or anything that we're going through for the week ahead. We then do our crystal. So we find a crystal that we can work with, use, or hold on to for the week ahead. And then we move into the elemental readings. So the elemental readings are basically 4 separate readings that I do that cover all the signs of the zodiac. So if you know what your sun sign is, whether you are, an Aries, a Libra, a Sagittarius, or whatever it may be, I will then tell you what your element is, because each sign of the zodiac has an associated element. So basically, because we're looking at only 7 days, we're looking at such a short period to do individual zodiac readings. It's like overkill, really. So by doing it by element, it gives you just a personal reading for the week ahead of the energies that you're dealing with, the kind of things that you can expect and what you need to look out for. So then we get onto the elemental readings, and once we've done the elemental readings, we get into our Q&A with Spirit. Q&A with Spirit, I basically have I think it's about 50 questions written onto cards, and we shuffle and we draw a question, and then we use a tarot deck to answer the question. And it's always quite interesting what comes through and the interpretations and so forth from Spirit. And then once we've done the Q&A, for those of you who are on my motivated and activated channel tiers, you stick around and you get an extended bonus extra something for the week ahead. I will, as we go through the reading, I will tell you exactly what the cards or the decks are that I'm working with. So if you are interested in, what deck it is, I will give you all that information. And yeah, all I ask of you, if you enjoy the content, is to give the video a thumbs up. And as always, I love getting comments from you below. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part of the reading is. What part do you look forward to the most? Are you the kind of person who comes in and jumps straight to a particular section? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you down below. And on the note of jumping around, I do put chapters into this particular reading, so to help you navigate. So if you do want to go straight to, for example, the elemental readings, or straight to the Q&A and then come back to the other stuff, if you look just down here on the screen, you will see there's a red line, and right now it'll be saying intro. If you click on intro, it'll open up the chapters, and you will see that there are all the different sections, and you can just click as you want to, especially when it comes to the elemental readings, because if you are, for example, earth sign, you don't want to have to watch through the fire signs. You want to get straight to yours. So the chapters are there every single week to make life easier for you. You can navigate and watch as few or as many parts in whatever order you fancy, but everything is there for you. So friends, I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to stop with the intro, and let's get into our theme for the week ahead. So for the theme for the week ahead, as just a reminder, we're doing the 22nd through to the 28th of May 2022. So we're doing Saturday through to Sunday. Let me start that again. Oh my gosh. We are doing Sunday through to Saturday. That's right. I got it. I have got my Word of the Year Oracle cards here, and I also have the Secret Garden Oracle. Those are the decks that I'm going to be using to get our theme for the week ahead. So let's start with the orange, because we always do. Let's give it a shuffle. And as I shuffle the orange, we're asking Spirit to give us a single card from this particular deck that's going to give us the first word in our theme for the week ahead. A single word that will work with the green to give us our theme for the week ahead, please, Spirit. Okay, I'm happy with the shuffle, and I want one that's in the middle of that. Okay, so I'm going to take that card. Right, putting the orange out of the way, let's grab, whoops, orange is dropping. Let's grab the green. Let's see, we're looking for the second part of our theme for the week ahead. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'm happy with that shuffle. And taking that one. Right, cards are out of the way. Let's turn them over and see. We have got sacred stability. Oh, that brings up all sorts of feelings for me. I don't know about you. You know, the word sacred is obviously a sacred word. I mean, obviously. But sacred is something that is different for every single one of us. You know, something that you would consider sacred, I may not, or something that I consider sacred, you may not. Sacred it's a relative term, but sacred means anything of value, anything of significance, anything that has meaning to you, and something that you honor, something that you respect, and something that you take care of. So that's my understanding of the word sacred. When we get to stability, again, it's one of those very relative terms, because what I consider a stable lifestyle or a stable environment or a stable situation may be actually very different to the way that you would, because it depends on our life experiences, it depends on our fears, it depends on our circumstances, it depends on so much. I think what this is, the way that I'm interpreting this for all of us today, is basically Spirit saying to you that we need to recognize what stability is in our lives. We need to recognize, what are we actually going through right now? Are we going through a period of stability, or is there a little bit of chaos in your life? And whatever the stability is, even if it is only small, even if it is only tiny, this is Spirit saying acknowledge it. Acknowledge it, recognize it, accept it, honor it, and respect it. Because what happens is, if you're in a period of stability and you're still in fear mode, and you're still in panic mode, and you're still in stress mode, the message that you're giving out, or what you're manifesting for yourself, is more chaos, is more instability, is more fear. So this is definitely Spirit saying, when you are having a period of stability, when things are calm, let's celebrate, let's acknowledge, let's practice gratitude, and let's just really put the focus onto that, so that the universe knows, so that the law of attraction recognizes, so that you can learn to recognize. Because we're all in this kind of, how can I say, this kind of habit of focusing only on when things go wrong. We never practice gratitude. We never practice, and I am an absolute gratitude advocate. I believe that it doesn't matter how severe the situation, doesn't matter how bad the circumstances, it doesn't matter what it is you're going through, there is always something to be grateful for. And I think this is Spirit saying, let's find those moments of stability. It doesn't have to be a whole week of stability, but let's find every single day you will have a moment of stability at some point. And when you do, let's recognize it, let's acknowledge it, let's honor it, let's respect it, and let's allow it to be whatever it needs to be in our lives. So sacred stability to me is very important. And I think for the week ahead, I think it's going to be incredibly relevant. Right, so just to try and make some space, we stick them up in that corner. I'm now going to take the, I'll show you the little box. This is the Secret Garden by Jessica Lay, and it is Enchanting Messages from Quiet Spaces. It is such, and these little decks, I've got quite a few of them. They really are quite small, quite tiny. The box that they come in has got a beautiful magnetic closure, so it doesn't open. These are lovely for grabbing the message every day, every night, whenever you need. And their messages are always quite simple, always quite uplifting, and always quite positive. So let's have a look. Sacred stability. We're still looking at our theme for the week ahead, and we're looking at the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2022. Secret Garden, what are you contributing to our sacred stability? Sacred stability, Secret Garden, what are you offering us? Okay, and now I'm going to take that one over there. Right, let's have a look and see the message that we get from the Secret Garden. You see, I love that. We have got success, and it says bloom wherever you are planted. So I love that, wherever you are planted. That to me is the absolute key here, wherever you are planted. So it doesn't matter if you're in the perfect space, if you've been planted in the perfect space or not. It doesn't matter if your situation or your circumstance isn't perfect. Just wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, just bloom. Like, you know what, just do it. I mean, I know that's so easy to say and not so easy to do, but I honestly think, right, we need to find a space where there's no glare. But I honestly think that card is saying to you, bloom wherever you are planted. Don't say, oh, but you know what, if I was 1 meter that way, I would be in a better position, more sunlight, less of this, more of that, and I would bloom better. No, just accept your circumstance, accept your sacred stability, accept where you are, accept your reality, your circumstance, what it is, where you are, how you are, who's around you. Just accept all of that. Honor it, respect it, admire it, and allow yourself to be successful in wherever you are, in whatever you're dealing with. Don't cloud your circumstances with doubt, with insecurities, with fear, and with only when, or only if, or if only this happened, or if only that happened. Sacred stability is saying, wherever you are, you have the potential to be successful, to be stable, to have that steady life that you're looking for. But you need to honor and respect the entire situation, the entire circumstance, and recognize where you're at, and know that you can, you will, and you must bloom wherever you are planted. I love that. Bloom wherever you are planted. I think that's going to become my new favorite catchphrase. All right. We now are going to move into our animal energy for the week ahead. And an animal deck that I am working with this week is the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards by Leanne Peters, templeofbalance.com.au. I love this deck. I love the artwork. I love the style. I love the prettiness. I love the colors. And of course, I love her selection of animals that she's got in the deck as well. All right, so I am shuffling the Animal Kingdom Oracle. We're looking for a single animal energy that we can work on, lean on, and incorporate into our week ahead. So when I look at the animal, it may be an animal totem, it may be an animal spirit, or it could just be understanding the properties, the energies, the characteristics of the animal that you can bring into and utilize in your day-to-day circumstances. So animal energy for the week ahead, the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May. I have one. Let's have a look and see what animal do we have for the week ahead. We have got the fiddler crab, and it's telling you to be on guard. And you know what's interesting is, because we've got our sacred stability and because we've got our success as our theme, when this tells us to be on guard, obviously we're going to listen, obviously we're going to be very aware of, but let's just look at what's going on in the image here. So we have this crab who has guarded, protected, secured themselves behind their massive claw. They're sort of peeping or peering through, or there's their eyes up there, but sort of, you know, that they're open, they're ready to snap shut, they're ready to grab, they're ready to defend whenever they need to. So they use what they have, they use what is attached to them, what is connected to them, to guard themselves, to protect themselves, but they still are out and about. They're not sort of hiding in a hole and trying to catch their food from that hole. They're venturing out of their comfort zones. They're venturing away from their safety, away from the security of their home, knowing that they are strong enough and capable enough to defend themselves, to protect themselves from anything that may come through. But it's not stopping them from going out. It's not stopping them from venturing beyond. And I think that's the message that I'm getting from Fiddler Crab for all of us today, is that yes, you know, we always need to be on guard, because life is life. Life is life. I have an 80s song playing in my head right now. And no, I'm not going to sing for you guys, but there is an 80s song called Life is Life, and it's just such an awesome song. All right, Fiddler Crab, back on track, Rene. Let's get back on track. So the message, and so going back to the characteristics of the crab, I am no expert in this particular crab, but my understanding is The crabs don't do things in the normal way. In other words, they don't walk forward. They walk sideways. They are always very quick to react, very quick to respond, very quick to move. You know, they're not on a Sunday afternoon stroll through the woods. They are reactive, very responsive and very quick. But they're also very quick to defend. And sometimes they defend themselves against something that actually poses no threat to them. Sometimes they're quick to use their strong arm when, you know, maybe it's just a piece of seaweed, if I can say. You know, I don't want to say that they're too quick to respond, but they absolutely are too quick to respond. So we must be on guard, but we must also make sure that we're not doing too much, that we're not being so on guard that we're limiting and restricting ourselves in our actions, movements, and our behaviors. And again, they're venturing beyond their safety zone, their home, their protection, their comfort zone. They're venturing beyond that. And that is something that I hope each of you take from Fiddler Crab this week. So be on guard, but still venture out. Be careful that you're not being overly defensive in your behaviors and your actions. Make sure that you believe in yourself and believe in your ability to protect yourself. And if you can do that, everything is going to be fabulous. So that is our animal energy for the week ahead. We are now moving into, and I can't find the cards here, they are. Now we move into our crystal energy for the week. So I have 100 different crystals here on my cards, and we are shuffling. We're looking for a single crystal energy that we can all work with for the week ahead. So we're looking at the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2022. We're looking for a single crystal, the properties, the energies, the characteristics of the crystal that we can use, that we can rely on, that we can lean on to help us navigate, guide, and protect us through the week ahead, even if it's for healing. It doesn't matter what it is, we can use the energies and the characteristics of the crystal in whichever way we want, and apparently that is the one that says, take me. So let's have a look and see what crystal we are working with for the week ahead. Pyrite. Oh, I love pyrite. Pyrite is a strong protection stone and can help to ward off negativity and physical danger. It can stimulate the intellect and memories while promoting leadership. It is said to increase ambition and commitment. The element is earth. It fits into all of your chakras, and the affirmation that it gives you is, I am protected from negative energy. And I do have a piece of pyrite that sits here on my desk. Let me just stretch. Hold a second. Let me just stretch and grab. Here it is. Here is my piece of pyrite that I have. So pyrite is also known as fool's gold. So this is just a small piece. It's not a big piece, but it sits on my desk. And I have to be honest and say to you that when I'm consulting, when I'm doing my readings for clients, I have an assortment of crystals on my desk, and if I'm dealing with somebody who's got quite a lot of trauma, if I'm dealing with somebody who is quite a negative energy or in a negative space, or maybe I'm concerned that they may have some kind of energy attachment on them, I seem to grab this one, and I've never understood why. I mean, I don't profess to be a crystal expert, but now reading this, it suddenly makes sense. So pyrite is a strong protection stone and can help to ward off negativity and physical danger. You know, on that note as well, I am a forever optimist. I am somebody who doesn't believe in negativity. Yes, negative things happen to me all the time. My life is not I'm not exempt from those kind of things, but I like to stay positive. I like to stay upbeat. I like to stay motivated and enthusiastic. Just trying to get the crystal to stand. And I don't like to focus on the negativity. So interesting that pyrite is one of those that I grab from my little bowl of crystals when I'm feeling like I need to protect my physical self. So yes, if you don't have a piece of pyrite, that's okay. You can screenshot mine. You can screenshot when I had the card displayed for you, and you can just even think about it. Imagine it, visualize it, see it, think about it, and use the affirmation. So the affirmation says, I am protected from negative energy. If you just repeat that to yourself, whenever you need to, as often as you need to, print it up, put it on your steering wheel, put it on the fridge, put it on the mirror in the bathroom, put it wherever you can, and read it as often. And when you read it, don't just read it like you read a newspaper article. Read it with intention. Read it with gusto. You know, I am protected from negative energy. I am protected from negative energy. So working with affirmations is always fun, and it's amazing what you can achieve with working with affirmations. So pyrite actually fits in quite nicely with our fiddler crab, with our blooming wherever you are planted, as well as our sacred stability, because pyrite will help you to maintain your sacred stability on a physical level. All right, so friends, this is getting quite interesting. I'm loving where we're going this week. We are now going to move into our elemental readings. So this week I am working with a teeny tiny deck. It is the Radiant Wise Spirit, but this is the mini edition. I do have the large one, but I don't feel like working with the large deck. I love working with teeny tiny small decks. You can see in comparison to my hand how big or how small it is, and beautiful artwork, just a traditional tarot deck with beautiful colors, beautiful coloring, and this is the deck that I want to work with to do our elemental readings. So I'm going to give it a shuffle in a second and draw for our first element. So just to explain, the elements we have is fire, earth, air, and water, and I do them in that particular order. Fire signs are our zodiac energies of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And our water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So that covers all 12 of the zodiacs, but putting them into 4 categories or 4 elements. And if you think about, for example, the element of fire, immediately, I mean, if you think about what is fire, fire is something that burns hot. Fire is something that we often consider with passion and enthusiasm and drive and ambition and all those kind of things. Whereas if you think of the energy or the element of earth, immediately we get very stable, very grounded, very practical, very logical. So you understand, and if you look at then just looking at fire and earth, and then you look at the associated zodiacs associated with them, it gives you a little bit of insight into those zodiacs. So for example, fire signs, which is our Aries, our Leo, and our Sagittarius, they all tend to be very fiery, very passionate, very, they can change very quickly. They can react and respond very quickly, but they can burn hot or they can burn cold. There's no sort of halfway mark. Earth signs being Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you're very grounded, stable, secure. They don't like change. They don't like things, you know, moving and changing and shaking. They want stability all the time. And when they do things in a very logical way, whereas the fire signs tend to do things I have to giggle because I'm a fire sign. So fire signs tend to jump into the deep end and see what happens. All right. So just to give you, so you can take the element fire, earth, air, and water, and immediately, you know, have a better understanding of the personality traits, the characteristics that it brings to your zodiac sign. Okay, let's start with fire. So fire signs being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We're looking at the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2022. We're looking for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, please. Week ahead energies for all my fire signs. Okay, happy with that shuffle. Cutting the deck over there. And I'm going to do 3 cards this week. We've got Queen of Cups, excuse the glare. Another reason why I choose small cards. We've got the Two of Swords, oops, and we've got some glare on our Ace of Wands. There we go. There we go. I think that's a good place to put them. So Queen of Cups. So fire signs, the Queen of Cups is basically saying nurturing emotions, okay? That's just generally the kind of key phrase that I have for my Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, she's also very intuitive. She's very much aware of everybody around her. She's very much aware of where everybody is, what everybody's doing, what everybody's going through. She's not so concerned about herself. She's more concerned around the others. So the Queen of Cups is basically saying, as we go through this next week, be very mindful, be very aware of the people in your space, the people in your family, the people who are important to you, and just notice what they're going through, notice where they are, and notice what they're doing. It's you don't have to do anything, you don't have to help, you don't have to stop, you don't have to prevent, you just have to be aware. And the reason we have to be aware is because maybe we haven't been. Maybe we've been, because she's got a blindfold on and her body posture is very closed off. She's blocking her heart space, and she's got these two huge big swords that she is using almost to create a defense around herself. So the Two of Swords is saying that you're not seeing what's right in front of you. You're not aware of what's happening around you. So when I look at these two cards, that is definitely the message that's coming through, is take a little bit of time to pay attention to your surroundings, to the people in your surroundings. So it doesn't have to be your immediate family or the people you live with. It could be friends, it could be colleagues, it could be, anybody who you interact with on a regular basis. Just notice, just become more aware, become more observant, I'm going to say, in what's going on with other people, because maybe they're going through something, and maybe one little word from you, or one little acknowledgement, or one little something from you would actually help them a long way in recovering or working through something. Okay, then we have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, I think, is telling you how to respond. So once you've acknowledged, once you've noticed, once you've seen what's going on with the people around you, the Ace of Wands is saying jump into action. Okay, so and of course for fire signs, that's easy. Jumping into action is easy. Jumping in and doing things is absolutely easy. That's not hard at all. But this is exactly what Spirit is saying to you. It's important that you recognize when somebody around you, needs your support, needs your guidance. Jump into action and assist and help in whatever way you can. Right, so fire signs, that is your energy for the week ahead. Will be interesting to see how that plays out for you. I'm going to, a little bit of glare, but it should be fine. Okay, next we have our earth signs. So earth signs, let's have a look at yours for the week ahead, and let's have a look and see what's in store for you. So earth signs being Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We're looking at the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May. 2022. What's in store for you? What is the energy of your week ahead? What is something that you need to know for the week ahead? Let's have a look at earth signs. Happy with that shuffle, and let's cut the deck. 3 cards for you. We have got the Page of Wands. We have got the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. All right. So earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. There's I'm going to call them conflicting energies here, okay? Because we've got the kind of feeling confident, feeling strong, feeling capable, feeling like everything's okay, to the hard work, to the little bit manic chaos energy. So there certainly seems to be some, I'm going to refer to them as conflicting energies happening around you this week. When I see 3 cards and 3 very conflicting kind of energy cards, the message immediately comes, acknowledge, okay? And in order to have our sacred stability that we look for, that we need, that to focus on for this week, we need to at first acknowledge. So every single day, take stock of your energies, take stock of what you're going through, take stock of what's happening around you, and ask yourself, okay, is this just something that is happening around me and nothing much that I can do about it? Or is this me? Is this energy? Is this feeling? Is it me, or is it my environment? So when you recognize and acknowledge that, then you know how best to respond. Because if it's just your environment, you can then either almost protect yourself, and that's what our crab was telling us, to be on guard, to protect yourself so that you don't get sucked into that chaos, or you can remove yourself from the situation. But if it's happening within you, if the chaotic, I don't know, kind of energy is coming from within you, then you know that you need to do whatever you need to do to calm yourself down, to center yourself, to have some sacred stability in your life in order to move through the energy. But if I just look at these 3 cards individually, we've got confidence. We've got confidence almost bordering on arrogance. He's certainly sure of himself. He's certainly, this is the kind of person who says, oh, I can do anything. No, that's not a problem. I can do that. Absolutely, yes. So this is somebody who's very eager and very enthusiastic to take on a project. And then we've got somebody here who is working so hard that, they're not even aware of what's going on around them. They are perfecting their trade, their tools, their technique, their method, to such an extent that they have actually shut themselves off from the rest of the world. And then you've got the Knight of Swords here, who is rushing in at such a speed that he also really isn't mindful of where he's come from, where he is, and where he's going. He's just so doing, he's just so rushing ahead that, he's hoping that with that speed and that momentum that it'll get him through the scenario and the situation. So three very interesting cards. And Earth signs, I do think this is Spirit saying, before you respond, before you react, before you say yes, before you get busy, and before you charge ahead, stop, look, absorb, understand, process, comprehend, and then decide what is the appropriate form of action. So don't be on automatic pilot this week. Let's be more mindful, because we want to honor and respect our sacred stability. We want to ensure that we bloom wherever we are planted, and we want to keep ourselves safe from negative energies while we guard our personal space. I think that is very, very important for all of you Earth signs for the week ahead. So you know what to do, you know how to do it. I hope it's a good one for you. All right, let's put your cards aside. And we now move into our air signs. So air signs, welcome. We are doing Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius for the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May, 2022. What's in store for you for the week ahead? What is something that you need to know? What is something that you need to be aware of? What is an energy that you may be processing or dealing with for the week ahead? Let's have a look and see what we get. Happy with the shuffle. Cutting the deck over there. Card number 1 for air signs. We have got the 10 of Pentacles. We then have the King of Swords. And we have Strength. Oh, these are amazing cards. Together they talk a beautiful story. Okay, so air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have got 2 cards that are leaning towards legacy, leaning towards accomplishment, achievement, being in control, being in charge, being in the best space of your life. And then we have the card that says strength. You are capable, you are stronger, you are in such a position of power, in a position of strength. So when I look at these, I think this is saying to you, this is again for all air signs, you've been working on something for the longest time, and whether that is an actual work project, or whether that is yourself, whether that is overcoming a challenge, whether that is improving your situation or your circumstance, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it fits into a personal, a work, a finance, health. It doesn't matter what area of life it falls into. But this is Spirit saying you've been working on something for the longest time, working towards positive outcome, working towards improvement, working towards betterment. And it looks like you're getting there this week. It looks like you're going to see results. You're going to see outcome, and you're actually going to be able to take a chance to stop, to look, to observe, and to value and appreciate all that you have created for yourself. It hasn't been easy. We can see that with the Strength card and with the King of Swords. It certainly hasn't been easy. It certainly hasn't been a walk in the park, okay? It certainly hasn't been a walk in the park. But you know what? You have rocked it. You have, and you may not be finished yet. You may not be at that point where it's like, it's all done, but you're pretty close, okay? So this week, sacred stability, we're going to notice, we're going to observe, we're going to identify what it is that we've been working through, working on, or working with, and we're going to recognize and see how far we've come, the success that we have achieved, and all that we have accomplished. And we're going to actually, I almost want to say, give yourself a pat on the back. We're going to acknowledge all that we have accomplished, all that we've achieved, and where we are at, because I think it's important. If you don't take the time to do that, if you don't take the time to be honest with yourself and say, hey, you're 90% of the way through, or whatever the percentage or whatever the circumstance may be, if you don't acknowledge progress, you always feel like you're not making progress. So it's very good to actually tick things off on your list as you get closer and closer and closer to the end, because it almost when you see your progress, when you see how far you've come and all that you've achieved, it gives you more motivation to actually do more, to carry on, to keep going. And I think that's what your week is. It's about taking stock. It's about acknowledging progress. It's about acknowledging how far you've come, and it's about giving yourself that acknowledgement. So interesting week for you, air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And I think it's going to be a very positive one for you. So I hope it works out that way. Good. Let's put your cards aside. And we are now moving on to our water signs. Water signs being Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, let's shuffle your cards and let's see what you're dealing with for the week ahead. Week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2022. Energies for the week ahead for all water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What is something that you need to know? What is something that you need to be working on? What is something that you need to be mindful of for the week ahead? Okay. Happy with that shuffle, and let's just cut the deck there. 3 cards for water signs. Card number 1 we have is the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Wands. Right, I'm putting the tarot deck out of the way because we finished with it after this. So water signs, we've got the 2 Pentacles, and Pentacles are our earth energy. It's our earth elements. They're very logical, very practical, very down to earth. But what we've got here are 2 opposites, because here we've got somebody who is holding on to everything that he has, and here we've got somebody who is giving, sharing, and distributing what he has in excess. Okay, so here we have worried that I don't have excess, and here we have excess. Here I'm holding on to it, and here I'm handing out, distributing, and sharing. Then we have over here with the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is like, OMG, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I've been busy for such a long time, I've been doing this for such a long time, I just want to go home. So it's interesting kind of energies for the week ahead for you. And water signs, I think this is Spirit saying to you, it's a fine line between holding on and having the stability with all your stuff. Okay, and when I say stuff, I refer to physical, tangible things. I refer to finances. I refer to health and well-being. I refer to thoughts. I refer to inspirations. You know, sometimes we think ideas, for example, we need to hold on to them and not give them away because people will steal them. And sometimes we can be blabbermouth and just be telling everybody everything, you know, not thinking about the consequences. Financially, we could be not wanting to spend, or we could be giving our money to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So, you know, there's a fine line between holding and giving. There's a very fine line between that. And I think this card is saying that you have been finding this whole situation of give and take exhausting. You have been trying to find this fine line for the longest time, and you have found it incredibly hard, incredibly difficult, and possibly even incredibly impossible. Okay, now the interesting thing with this particular card, and actually let me bring it up and show you, you can see how, you know, he's got a bandage across his head. He's exhausted, all right? But if you look at like his bone structure, for example, if you look at his physique, he's incredibly strong. He's an powerful character. He's been building this barrier, this fence. He's holding on to one post. And you can see we've got 3 over there, and we've got a couple over there. There's a gap. So he literally has only the one more fence post to put in. And his barrier, his security, his safety, his whatever his objective is, will be complete. So he's exhausted. He's ready to throw in the towel. He's ready to say, I just don't know if I have it in me to do it anymore. But you know what? He does, and he will. So bringing it back to these cards, it's understanding that whatever you're going through at the moment, it's been a long, hard, tough journey. All right. You've had some that have gone in easily. I'm saying like the short one here has gone in easily, but you've had some that you've really struggled, you know, in as much as you've hit them down, they just haven't wanted to go into the earth. So it has not been an easy road, and you've been trying to learn, adapt, improve on how much to give and how much to hold back, but you're so close. So don't stop yet. Don't stop looking for and finding this line in between the give and the take. You are almost there. You're almost finding your sacred stability. But this is not the week to give up. This is not the week to throw in the towel. This is the week to keep going because you're just about there. So water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, it may be a complicated week for you. It may be a challenging week for you, but there is light at the end of the tunnel and you will achieve whatever it is that you need to achieve. All right. Lots of love and blessings to my water signs for the week ahead. Okay, so elemental readings are done. Next is our Q&A with Spirit. So let me grab the cues. Here I have my deck of questions, and there are plenty questions. Let's shuffle our questions and let's see. So at this point, with the Q&A with Spirit, I always like to invite Spirit to connect with us. I always like to ask Spirit, what is something that they feel is in the best interests of all of us to discuss today, to know about, to question, to ask? What is something that Spirit feel every single one of you watching, listening right now need to be pondering and thinking about? What is something that is important for every single one of us to be understanding and processing in life? So what is an appropriate question for all of us to work through right here and right now? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so happy with that. And we have our question. So we put the question cards away and let's have a look and see what is our question this week. How can I allow more magic into my life? Oh, I like it. How can I allow more magic into my life? Right. To answer our question, I have chosen this tarot deck. And this is the Teddy Tarot. Teddy Tarot is, what I love about Teddy Tarot is it's gentle, it's honest, it's truthful, it's powerful, but it gives you that kind of feeling of everything's going to be okay. And you know what? I chose the Teddy Tarot before I knew what the question was, obviously. And I think the Teddy Tarot is going to be a perfect deck to find out how we can allow more magic into our life, because teddies are about imagination. Teddies are about comfort. Teddies are about understanding, just feeling nurtured, feeling supported, feeling unconditional, and all of those things. Nurture, unconditional love and acceptance. To me, those things are magical. To me, those things are magical. To me, if we don't have those in our life, we don't have magic. What is magic? Let's identify what is magic. Magic to me is love, it's acceptance, it's excitement, it's passion, it's enthusiasm, it's our drive and our ambition. I think I said ambition already. So magic is when things fall into place and happen, when things work out as they're supposed to, when things happen the way that they need to without much effort. That to me is magic. So how can we allow more magic into our lives? We're going to ask Teddy Tarot, how can we allow more magic into our lives? So this is going to be a very interesting one. How can we allow more magic into our lives? Teddy Tarot, help us. How can we allow more magic into our lives right here and right now? Whatever magic means to you, whatever magic is lacking in your life, how can we allow more magic into our lives? And we have got the 10 of Pentacles. And of course, the first thing I see is this puppy dog on his back. And it looks like he has got the biggest smile on his face. And isn't that just magic? Isn't that magic? We then have, oh, you see, things are getting real. Teddy Tarot is talking. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles. We then have the 8 of Swords. And we then have the 3 of Cups. So very, very interesting. So how do we allow more magic into our lives? First of all, this is confirmation that the magic is at home. You're not going to find the magic out there. You're going to find the magic at home, because family is magic. Family is life. Family is everything. I want to bring sacred stability into it, because sacred stability is home. If you do not have a stable, secure home base, you will never feel stable and secure in your life. And your home needs to be your sacred place. Your home needs to be the one place where you let go of your masks, let go of your fears, your anxieties, your stresses. It's the place where you should feel so comforted, so secure in all you have. And I mean, we should all be as happy as that dog is. I mean, just even if you don't love dogs, even if you're not a dog person, you can't look at that and say, oh my gosh, I want to be as happy and as content as he is, and as cute and as cuddly and as playful as the kitten with the ball of yarn. So we need to understand, and in this particular picture, it's snowing outside. We've got the full moon, it's snowing outside, but we are safe, we are secure, we are with our family, we are with the people that mean the world to us, and that is the magic. So all of you who are going out of your homes to try and find magic, to try and find things, you're looking in all the wrong place. This is where we need to look. So how can you allow more magic in your life? By looking closer to home. The problem is, and the reason why we're not seeing it, is because we are conditioned to expect the worst, to think the worst, to imagine the worst. If we look at this particular card, we have the Eight of Swords. So here we have Teddy. Teddy is blindfolded. Teddy also has rope, binding him. Teddy is surrounded by 8 swords, and Teddy is standing on very uneven, rocky road. Teddy is not comfortable, not happy at all. We've got dark clouds. We've got storm coming through. So Teddy is not moving. Teddy is frozen in fear, okay? And Teddy is like, I don't know what's going on, but if I keep still, I have no pain. If I keep still, I have nothing's happening to me. So therefore, I'm not going to move. I am frozen in fear. The reality is there's nobody else around. We can even see with the shadows, there's only Teddy's shadow. There's no other shadows around besides for the swords. These swords are sharp enough that if Teddy moved closer to it, it could cut this rope that has got Teddy bound. But also, if we're honest, if we really look at it, these 3 ropes that are around Teddy's body are not tight. They're not really constricting or limiting him. Teddy is genderless, so I can't say him or her. So basically, it's about finding that, I'm going to call it courage and confidence that you have within yourself to change your circumstance, to move your arms a little bit. Because if he did, he would quite easily, I keep referring to him as him, I do apologize, Teddy would be able to remove these ropes. And once he's removed the ropes, he would be able to remove the blindfold and see that the situation is not what he has imagined and perceived it to be. So how do we allow more magic into our lives? By looking closer to home, and by looking, okay? Open up your eyes, change your circumstance, wriggle around a little bit to free yourself from preconceived notions and preconceived ideas, so that you can take the blindfold off, so that you can see your magic as it is. Because we're imagining the magic as actually being trapped, being bound, being contained. These swords around Teddy are not containing, restricting, and limiting Teddy. They're actually protecting Teddy. Nobody's going to come near the Teddy, because if they try to, they're going to end up cutting themselves around the swords. So those swords are protecting him and not trapping him. But until he removes the blindfold, he's not going to see that. Until he removes the blindfold, he's always going to feel limited, restricted, bound, trapped, caged. So how do we allow more magic into your life? By looking closer to home and realizing that the things that we feel restrict us are actually protecting and saving us. And then how can we allow more magic into our lives? By celebrating it with those people that we love and adore. 3 of Cups is the card of celebration. Here we have three friends, 3 family members, 3 mother, maiden, crone, however you want to refer to them, but it's 3 people who have come together. They each have a glass of something fabulous, and they are celebrating whatever it is that they need to celebrate. They're celebrating each other. They're celebrating the connection. They're celebrating a circumstance, an event. They are just celebrating life. And you know what, friends, when I talk about this celebrating life, I want to bring the sacred stability back into it. I want to bring bloom wherever you are planted. I want to bring our crab and I want to bring our pyrite into it, because everything that we've got going here for us today, and just to bring these all front and center again, everything that we've got going on here today, everything that we're talking about here today is basically Spirit saying we need to change the way that we perceive and imagine life, the way that we perceive and imagine our circumstances. We need to change that. We need to start looking closer to home to see the magic that we actually have, the sacred stability that we actually have, the success that we actually have in our lives, and we need to celebrate it. I'm going to ask every single one of you watching and listening right now, when last have you sat with your family and told them how you feel about them? When last have you expressed emotion, and not just the kind of comment we all say when we hang up the phone after talking to our loved ones? You know, we're in this habit of walking out the door and saying, bye, I love you, or hanging up the phone saying, bye, I love you. You know, but when we say that, we mean it, but we don't actually mean it. It becomes a habit. It's not really heartfelt. And I think the magic, how can we allow more magic into our lives? By being more heartfelt and by not perceiving everything as dangerous, as bad, as negative, as hard, as uncomplicated, or whatever. It's about actually saying, you know what? I love my family. I love my home. I love the people I'm spending time with. And I see beauty, magic, and awesomeness in every single one of them, even when the dog is being silly. And we need to enjoy those moments, because it's those little moments that are filled with magic that will bring you the sacred stability, the happiness, the success, and everything that you need in your life. So friends, interesting Q&A. I hope it resonates with you. I hope it just encourages you to do something special with your family today. I'm now going to move on to the bonus reading for my motivated and activated channel members. You are welcome to click the join button and join in the fun and receive that. I do think after seeing all of this, the bonus reading is going to be very interesting. For the rest of you, thank you so much for being with me today. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to engaging with you. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.